Right now, the entire global economy is kind of holding its breath. And it's all because of this tiny, tiny strip of water called the Strait of Hormuz. It's a choke point that's on the verge of erupting, and well, the consequences could be absolutely catastrophic. So today, we're going to break down exactly what is going on, why it's happening now, and what it really means for all of us. So, what's the immediate spark that lit this fuse? Well, it's Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC. They've essentially drawn a line in the water. They're running live fire drills that have turned parts of this incredibly vital shipping lane into a very dangerous place to be.
So on February 17th, the word comes down, large sections of the strait are being closed for hours at a time. Now, you gotta understand, this is way more than just a military exercise. It's a direct signal to the global economy. The Strait of Hormuz is basically the world's main oil artery, and Iran is showing everyone they have their hand on the valve.
Okay, let this number really sink in for a second. 20 million. That's how many barrels of oil squeeze through this narrow choke point every single day. That's about a fifth of the entire world's daily oil consumption. And that's not even counting the huge amounts of natural gas. The modern world literally runs on what flows through the strait. So, what actually happens when that flow is threatened? Even a small disruption? Well, the ripple effects, they're felt almost instantly, everywhere, from the price you pay at the pump to the cost of, well, just about everything on store shelves. So let's really dig into what's at stake here. Yeah, this crisis didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Not at all. It's really the boiling point after weeks of escalating tensions, a really dangerous game of political chicken that has brought us right to this moment.
This timeline here, it just shows you how fast things went sideways. I mean, it starts with a canceled drill, then boom, a near confrontation at sea between warships. And then you get this glimmer of hope, surprisingly positive diplomatic talks. But then, on the exact same day those talks get going again, Iran launches these new drills. It's a crystal clear message. We're talking, but we're doing it from a position of strength. And this, right here, is the core of the whole crisis. It's this dangerous stance between diplomacy and military muscle. On one side, you've got diplomats in Geneva talking about peace and nuclear deals, and on the other, you have warships steaming towards the Persian Gulf. It is an incredibly high-stakes gamble, and honestly, nobody knows how it's going to play out.
All right, so let's take a closer look at this military flexing, especially from Iran. Because you have to know, these drills are not just for show. They are a very carefully planned demonstration of new and frankly pretty scary new capabilities. Iran is sending a really clear message here. We can defend our turf and we have the tech to back it up. They're showing off new drones, AI-guided missiles that are much harder to jam or shoot down, and, this is a big one, missiles that can hit a target 1,000 kilometers away. This isn't just a small upgrade, it's a major leap in their military power. And get this, Iran isn't just acting alone. At the same time all this is happening, they're also teaming up with Russia and China for a whole separate exercise. Now, this is a pretty clear challenge to Western naval dominance. It's a signal of a shifting global power balance, a much bigger statement about who gets to write the rules on the high seas.
And this quote, wow, from the commander of the IRGC Navy, it really says it all. He's basically saying, what you see us practicing with, that's not even our best stuff. It's a thinly veiled threat that they have even more advanced weapons held back just in case.
Okay, so this isn't just some regional tiff. The effects of this standoff in a channel that's only 35 kilometers wide at some points, they're already being felt all around the world. We're talking clogged ports and shipping costs that are going through the roof. Just look at this table. It paints a really grim picture of the economic fallout. I mean, port throughput in Iran is down over 40%. Ships are waiting for days just to dock. Other ports are seeing massive congestion. This is a logistical nightmare for the global supply chain, and it is happening right now. So the shipping industry is getting hit with a double whammy. First, the insurance costs just to enter the region are skyrocketing. So what happens? Well, some companies are taking this crazy, expensive detour all the way around Africa just to avoid the strait. We're talking about adding 2 to 3 weeks to a journey, which drives up costs for absolutely everyone. But look, this whole conflict is about more than just oil and warships. To really understand what's going on, you have to get that at its heart. This is a fundamental disagreement about the actual rules that govern our oceans. So think of it like this. There's this principle called transit passage. It's basically the rule of the road for the world's most important waterways, like an international highway. It's a core tenet of international law that says all ships from all countries can pass through freely and quickly, and the countries on the coast can't stop them.
And this slide, this is the entire legal battle in a nutshell. The rest of the world says the Strait of Hormuz is that international highway. It's open to all, full stop. But Iran sees it differently. They see it as their sovereign territorial waters, and they believe they have the right to control who passes through, especially when it comes to foreign warships. It's a clash of two totally different legal views, and it's the fault line that this crisis keeps erupting from again and again.
So, the big question is, where does this all go from here? You've got both sides digging in their heels, one with diplomacy, the other with military drills, and the future of this vital waterway is just hanging in the balance. This quote from a senior Iranian official, it just perfectly captures this knife-edge situation we're in. We are negotiating with our finger on the trigger. It's a truly chilling reminder of just how fast this crisis could escalate from a tense standoff to a full-blown conflict.
And so, as the world watches, we're seeing two very different stories unfold at the exact same time. On one track, there's diplomacy. On the other, military escalation. The question is, which track will win out? The fate of the global economy could very well depend on that answer.